journey starts really back in college with engineering. You don't find too many engineers. So my undergrad degree, we were 10 women among 400 people strength. So it starts there, and that's kind of gets you set for knowing how to survive in a man's world. Women, other women who aspire for leadership role, that the first rung of this journey is always the competence. We have all the capability in India. So all India and Indian railways and metros and companies such as BEML and everybody needs to ask, it's just us.
Yes.
And we're ready to support that. So a lot of aspiration to grow in India along with the growth of a country. The pink lines we talk about are dedicated lines where from start to finish it is operated by women. And we've seen some very positive results in terms of productivity and delivery from those lines. And those have been a very big success. We've got multiple lines in our factory in Hosur. We've got lines in our factory in Marhora in Bihar. So places like Hosur, Tamil Nadu, Marhora, Bihar, if they can do that, I think you can do it anywhere.
Hi, welcome to this groundbreaking podcast from BEML with the subject Window to the World. So I'm your host Ramesh Kopala. Let's begin. Today we have Dr. Sujatha Narayan, who is the CEO and head of Wabtec India. I have a brief about her. Just let me run through her profile before we chat with her. Dr. Sujatha Narayan is the Senior Vice President and Regional Leader of Wabtec Corporation of India region. She is heading a business of 600 million revenue in Wabtec India. In the country where there is diversity, where the rail industry is very low, Sujatha is highly respected by customers, suppliers and employees. As one of the small handful female leaders, she is an inspiration to women across the country. She is a recipient of numerous awards within Wabtec and as well as external rail fraternity. In 2021, Sujatha was featured among the Icons of India Incorporation, the Star List 2021, and recognized among the top 50 CXOs in the Indian manufacturing industry. She was honored in June 2023 with the International Rail Journal IRJ Women in Rail Award. The publication recognized her global for the significant impact they are making in the railway domain. Madam Sujatha Narayan, welcome to this podcast.
Thank you.
I think we need to know more about you and how you inspire the country, the next generation in this nation building activity. Please tell me how you've been there in your space where you are today, being a woman leader in a thickly built masculine world, especially in the manufacturing and the rail domain.
Sure. I think the journey starts really back in college with engineering. You don't find too many engineers. So my undergrad degree, we were 10 women among 400 people strength. So it starts there, and that's kind of gets you set for knowing how to survive in a man's world. However, I think the focus of the early part of my career really has been on developing expertise. I did a PhD in Polymer Science, went on to do a lot of material science related R&D work, and established myself as having expertise in certain areas. So I often talk to other women who aspire for leadership role, that the first rung of this journey is always the competence piece, the first C as I call it, which is really you make sure that you're absolutely good at what you do, you meet the expectations of the people who you work with, you build expertise and you're known for something that you're good at so that everybody reaches out to you. That's to me the foundation of anybody's career, and it's true for men and women, and definitely true for women. Now, by nature, I have an outgoing, fairly aggressive personality. So that has helped me in my journey, that I'm not easily fazed by the experiences I have. I'm often told by people, hey, I think that person said that to you because you're a woman, and I I often say, I don't think so. I think they said it because they said it, right? So that's helped significantly. Focusing on what I'm good at, having a lot of confidence in myself, in my capabilities. I know that, for example, I'm learning agile, right? So I've switched from, for example, going from an R&D to a business role, from a material science industry to a very mechanical engineering industry, which I'm in today. And learning agility has been is a key competence for most people, especially in today's VUCA world, where things are going to change very often. They're saying in the future, people have to reinvent their careers every 5 years. So learning agility, I think, is really key. Focusing on how you develop that and I've spent a lot of my development hours working on learning agility, and just always doing the right thing, whether it is technically, professionally, people-wise. Focusing on doing the best job I can and doing the right thing has helped me.
Oh yeah, that's very nice. Thank you. Let's move on to the professional domain where you are in.
Yeah.
How do you see Wabtec in this growing space of the rail industry in India? And what is that you can bring to India for the local manufacturing and local, I would say, collaborations? So what's your plan?
Yeah, sure. And I'll start off by very quick introduction into Wabtec India, because we've been in the country for close to 40 years. Originally, there's been Wabtec, and then we merged with Fevele Transport, which has been in the country for a long time, as well as GE Transportation. So we've been in the country for a long time, and while we are a multinational company, an American company at the corporate level, in India, we consider ourselves an Indian company. So that has helped a lot. The company has invested very significantly. We've got almost 3 million square feet of operational footprint. If you look at all the products that we sell in India, we're about 70 to 90% indigenized. At the same time, we have an engineering center in Bangalore, which is doing all the work for India, but also the work for Europe and US. So high level of focus on being an Indian company in a multinational company. That's been our approach. That's the way we look at ourselves. For example, there are companies in the rail space that have expats that are running the show. We don't have a single expat in the company. We haven't had one in a long time. And in terms of our plans for the future, in 2020 we declared that we wanted to be a $1 billion enterprise. We were at around we were around $400 million then.
You're talking about Wabtec India?
Wabtec India.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're about $550 million today in revenue. Mm-hmm. We do about $200 million of exports, both from engineering as well as sourcing components and product exports together. So what we call it India for the world. So the India business is about 550. 200 million is what we call India for the world. That's a total of about 750. We want to take that to $1 billion. So that's really the dream that we have. And I think our dream goes hands in hand with the dream that Indian Railways and India as a country has in terms of transforming, right? The transformation agenda that Railways has is really thrilling and motivating, in terms of focusing on better safety, security, comfort, sustainability. All of it is under discussion, and I feel like Wabtec can be a fantastic partner, especially with having 1,500 engineers here that are doing every aspect of rail, from designing locomotives to components that go into locomotives and trains to digital solutions. We have all the capability in India. So all India and Indian Railways and metros and companies such as BEML and everybody needs to ask. It's just ask.
Yes,
and we're ready to support that. So a lot of aspiration to grow in India along with the growth of a country.
Actually, there is a small, I won't say fear, but then there is a thinking that the multinational companies, especially the US based and the German based companies, they are trying to have a monopolistic view or a duopolistic view in India. What's your take on that?
I don't think so. And if I may respectfully disagree, I think it's about technology. So if you take, for example, the brake systems that we have for the LHP coaches for Indian Railways or the locomotives, We brought in good technology, and so did some of the another company, and we've been able to help the transformation agenda. And I want to give an example. In 2017, there was a big accident, and they decided that they were going to switch completely from ICF coaches to LHP coaches. And companies such as Wabtec invested a significant amount of money to support the country to do that. Now, as time has gone by, there have been local Indian, pure Indian companies. We consider ourselves Indian too, but pure Indian companies that have come into the picture, and they have qualified, and we have shared our market share with them, and that's very much a reality today. And there has been no effort at all in any way to try to do a monopoly or a duopoly in any way. Now, the one thing that, however, we also keep asking is that the field has to be even for us or any company that comes to qualify. So if there are if the period of qualification, for example, that IR has for a new product is reduced because an Indian company is coming in the picture, or tender conditions are written around wanting to have Indian companies qualify, then we protest. We do talk to the officials. We say, hey, we've served you. We're here in India with full heart and soul and all the investments we've made, and so we have to have an even playing field. So our concern is actually the reverse, right? So it's not about us trying to dominate anything. It's a little bit of a worry whether we will be as appreciated as a purely Indian company.
I have a leading question to this. How much of independence do you have in running Wabtec India with a lesser control from your principal companies in the US or whatever?
Yeah, that's also a journey. Typically, when you start off in a subsidiary, you're controlled quite a bit, you're told what to do. But as you grow and you're successful and you build credibility, a lot of autonomy is given.
Oh, really?
So today, to a large extent, myself as the leader of Wabtec India and my leaders in India run their businesses. I mean, they have to provide review. I mean, they do get reviewed, but they don't get micromanaged. So I would say a lot has to do with how much competency you have locally, which we have developed, whether it's operational, engineering, and teams. Second, your credibility through your success. When you have that, the autonomy comes in. It has been a continuously increasing autonomy journey for us.
Yeah, that's very nice to hear from you that this journey, how are you looking at working with companies like BEML or the kind of companies in the rail industry and the railways? What is your take for the next 5 years, I would say? And since what would Wabtec bring into India, which is your global technology, which will become a part of the Indian system?
Yeah, so one space that we're working on a lot globally is sustainability, right? What we are anticipating is, while the railways is probably one of the greenest form of transportation, but there is an opportunity to improve the sustainability. And as you know, Indian Railways has said that they will be a net zero operator by 2030. So a lot of our global technology, we've done battery electric locomotives,
right.
We've done natural refrigerant-based air conditioners, we've created dust-free friction products. We are working on hydrogen technology for all of this. We will be ready to bring this to India as and when the time comes. Current examples, we've been talking a lot about this high-reach pantographs, a very India-specific project where India has electrified most of their network and want to do double-stack containers and have high OHEs. So this product was specifically designed for India. Vande Bharat platform, we sell multiple subsystems in the Vande Bharat. These were specifically designed for India. So, I'm excited about the fact that the company recognizes India to be a big market and that it would like to support, and they're putting the investments in. We just inaugurated our newest Wabtec manufacturing campus in Rohtak.
Oh.
It's going to be where we just started off building brakes and brake blocks there, and we're creating our engine remanufacturing campus there. We will put other things there as well. So the investment is continuous in terms of whatever the country needs and whatever the railway ecosystem needs, we're ready to come, whether it's products, operations. We've strongly supported the Make in India agenda through our operational investment.
Excellent. One more question now. On the supply chain, how much are you trying to develop the Indian supply chain for your global requirement? Is there a thought process in that line of thinking?
Absolutely. So if you remember before I was telling you about this India for the world piece, right? So part of that is engineering. We won't talk about that. In terms of supply chain today, I export about $100+ million of components that are made with my suppliers. So over the years, I have developed suppliers for our own business. Now we are using those suppliers to send to the factories of the world. And we have an ambition to increase that significantly. And similarly, we have an ambition to increase products made in our factories as well. We were just, recently we were awarded an export locomotive project for the first time. We're getting ready to execute that. Very excited about potentially becoming a locomotive export center out of India.
Excellent. Let's move slightly away from this mundane subject of.
Okay.
When I visited your factory along with our CMD sometime in April, I would say mid-April, something interesting I saw was the creation of a pink line.
That's right.
So, would you kindly give a tip on that?
Absolutely. So, if you look at broadly, diversity and inclusion is one of the 4 values of Wabtec Corporation. We call it embrace diversity, and we look at it beyond gender. We're looking at it as geographical. So we've got things like Asia Pacific Forum, Latin American Forum. We've got Women of Wabtec as a gender diversity, and we've got pride and disabilities and other things as well. So there are employee resource groups that are created, and these groups are the safe environments where diverse employees can come together and work together to understand how they can be successful. So a lot of very proactive approach towards diversity and inclusion. In India, over the years, we've done a tremendous job on what we call gender diversity. We call it Women of Wabtec. Very, very active forum, high level of engagement with the women employees. For example, every 2 years, I actually have a women's summit where all the women employees in India come to Bangalore, and we spend a couple of days learning, networking, and having fun. So gender diversity has always been a good focus. We've done a good job. Very, very proud of these pink lines. So it's some really visionary leaders within our operational organization, and these are men, not women,
Excellent.
who have come up with the concept of these pink lines. The idea is to bring diversity into the operational environment, which have significant number of advantages. These pink lines, so we bring women into the operations anyway, but the pink lines we talk about are dedicated lines where from start to finish it is operated by women. And we've seen some very positive results in terms of productivity and delivery from those lines. And those have been a very big success. We've got multiple lines in our factory in Hosur. We've got lines in our factory in Marhora in Bihar. So places like Hosur, Tamil Nadu, Marhora, Bihar, if they can do that, I think you can do it anywhere.
Yep.
So it's been a success. We expect to grow that significantly.
I think this model should be probably showcased at a national level where the other industry leaders also start adapting this. So that's what is my opinion. And I now request you to tell our viewers and people out there to inspire them. What do they need to do? There will be a lot of youngsters and leaders or entrepreneurs who are there.
Yeah, so to the people in the audience who are young and old, I want to talk about the railway industry. BEML is a part of it, and so is Wabtec. It is the most sustainable form of transportation, right? And within that space, there is a lot of cutting edge work that is being done in terms of improving sustainability, bringing a lot of tech into it. So I want you all to consider jobs in the railway space. IT is not the only place to be. Cars are not the only cool things that are being built, because what we are doing is designing and manufacturing trains, and ultimately the work that we are doing is building this nation. Thank you.
Yeah, one more question, Sujatha, regarding what's your passion and how do you want this to be converted into a message to the people out there?
Over the years, my passions have changed, right? Growing up, my passion was to play sports, and I used to be a basketball player, and I played for school, college, etc. Very, very passionate about that.
Right.
But then, you become an adult and you start working. And truly, my work has been my passion, because I was always very, very excited about the idea of connecting technology to the market. To solve customer problems through technology is how I would kind of summarize what my passion is professionally. And then from a personal perspective, as a working woman, you don't have too much time for hobbies and following up anything. So I've been a very passionate mother. I have a 19-year-old daughter. So I've really been passionately focused, especially given the fact that being a working mother, you don't have too much time. So how do you provide mothering through quality interactions rather than quantity has always been a challenge. And so that has been something that I've been passionate about. So I think as the years roll by, the passions will continue to change.
Yeah, I think it has been excellent having Sujatha on our podcast. It's an honor and pleasure to be, chatting with her. Thank you very much.